Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Toy Collector Review with me, Sergeant Geek. And while I was at my local Walmart, I was able to pick up a couple of these motorcycles here once again from Adventure Force. And I do have another wacky one that we'll get into later on in the video. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at these and the packaging. As you guys know, the Adventure Force motorcycles are, I believe, I hope I'm saying it right, Majestro cycles or decal toys. These are 1/18 scale two-wheel vehicles. As you can see, the Adventure Force big open container. These things, the boxes are plain, they're very simple. They got a couple of different bikes in them. They're very detailed. We've gone over these before on the channel. These things look really cool, and since they're 1/18 scale, they pretty much go with the Star Wars and G.I. Joe size action figures. And this is really cool. As you can see here, what I'm pointing out is the Ducati official logo. So these are official products, even though they got these weird looking boxes. These bikes do cost about $3 at my local Walmart. And I remember back in the day, anything from this company, including the cars, was kind of expensive. I think these bikes were going for back then anywhere from like $10 to $15, along with the cars that were going from $20 to $25. So to pick these up at this kind of price nowadays is really cool. Look guys, let's go ahead, let's get these things out of the box and let's take a look at the bikes themselves. So let's go ahead and open this up. There we go, slide it out. There we go. Now we got one little mount screw on the bottom. Let me bust out my little screwdriver here. And let's go ahead and unscrew this from this little display kit. There we go. Now let's take a closer look. This is a Ducati here, and these bikes look really cool. This thing looks really nice. Look at all that detailing to it. Hopefully it does come across on the camera. This thing does look awesome. These bikes, I picked up quite a few now. I got almost a full shelf of these 1/18 scale motorcycles, and each time I manage to find one of these, they look awesome. They look more amazing each and every time. Now I think the only ones left on the shelf are the dirt bikes, which to me look all the same, so I'm really not going to be collecting any of those. But I did find some Harley Davidson bikes. As you can see here, this is, hopefully the camera picks it up, it says Monster Ducati. Now, as I was saying, I did find another style bike. There is a Harley Davidson edition of these bikes in this scale, and I'm thinking about picking those up. There's not too many of those, so guys, let me know in the comment section below, do you think I should start picking up the Harley Davidsons and adding them to the collection? Now, let's go ahead. That one is a cool looking bike. Let's get rid of the trash here. But the one that I really like and I really was interested in was this Ducati over here. This one looks really cool. This is the 1199 Ducati. So let's go ahead and let's take it out the package. Go ahead, let's get the screwdriver so we can unscrew the base over here. Alrighty, there we go. Let's go ahead and let's get rid of this trash. And let's take a look at this one here. This one does look awesome. Really, really cool. Like the detail to the tires, to the suspension. This bike looks really cool. If I can actually get my hands on one of these, that'll be really awesome. These things do look pretty amazing here. As you can see, all the detail to this bike. And you can see the decals right there, the 1199 on it. Once again, these things are really, really cool looking. And I am so glad I was able to pick up these bikes and add them to the other collectibles motorcycles I have on my shelf. These are going to look really good up there. These bikes all look amazing. And I'm thinking about getting some action figures, like maybe check out some hobby stores or something online to see about getting some 1/18 scale figures to go along with the bikes. But those are the two bikes right there. But we do have one crazy military style bike, so let's go ahead and let's pull that one out right now.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
Alright guys, so the next one, obviously you can tell by the bumper, it's from the G.I. Joe franchise. I actually picked this one up at my local comic book store, as you can see here from Bedrock City Comic Books. This is an action toy. I paid $20 and you can see it's labeled up here. I think they started doing this 1986. I did check it out. It is an original. This is from G.I. Joe. This is the LCV Recon sled. Sled or bike, I'm not really sure. All I could really find was either sled or bike, and I'm going with the sled. This thing is really cool. I do remember having one of these when I was a kid and put my G.I. Joes on it. Now, I don't have a lot of actual old school G.I. Joes, but I do got one. So let's get rid of this trash. Let's put that out to the side. Real fast, let's take a look at the LCV here. As you can see, it's really cool. It's got some guns mounted to the side. It does have it where the glass can come off here, so you can actually put your G.I. Joes on there without breaking the glass itself. The front pivots around a lot, which is a really cool design in and of itself. It has a big back wheel. It has a machine gun on the back here that rotates around, and that big engine compartment there as well. Radar screen, some hooks there. Looks really cool and looks futuristic, but let's go ahead and let's pull out a G.I. Joe figure to put on it. Now, I do have lift ticket here. I don't have the Tomahawk, but I did come across lift ticket during a toy show, and I was able to pick him up for pretty cheap. So let's go ahead and just use him right now to check out this vehicle here. Because when I was looking at this vehicle at first, I couldn't remember if this was the original one because it looked kind of big for a small G.I. Joe figure. So I was hoping that this was original. When I looked it up, it is an original, so I was glad about that. And then talking to a couple other people that had it as a kid as well, they do remember it being this big. I don't remember it being this big, but then again, I did have tons and tons of G.I. Joes when I was a kid growing up. But there you go right there. That's pretty much how you put the figure onto the vehicle. His head actually goes in the sled like that. It's really cool. I guess this thing pivots. I do remember it pivoting around when you take it outside and you play with it on, like with me, pretty much in the concrete jungles of New York growing up. It would pivot around and it would go around the curves and rocks and everything. It is really cool, and I'm actually glad I was able to pick it up. Now, I said I do have a small collection of G.I. Joe figures from back in the day. I might build it up. I don't really know. G.I. Joes do take up a lot of space because some of those vehicles get big and bigger and bigger. I do have the Raven and the Cobra plane. I think it's the Rattler. And those things I actually have to hang them off the ceiling because they are so large. But this right here is really cool, guys. And this is where we're going to end the video for today. Alright guys, so that wraps up another episode of Toy Collector Review. Now, when it comes to these motorcycles right here, are they worth collecting? In my opinion, they are. Are they going to be worth quite a bit of money later on down the line? I'm not really 100% sure that. The company brand that does make these bikes originally are pretty detailed. And I know back in the day, those cars and motorcycles used to go for quite a bit of money back and forth, trading with my friends, getting like the Dodge Viper or getting one of these Shelby Cobra Mustangs. But nowadays, with so many different companies making these cars, it's hard to tell what's going to be worth money, especially with these, since you can only buy these for like a couple of bucks at Walmart. But I think they're worth getting, especially if you are collecting some of these die-cast metal cars. It is good to have some of these bikes around, and if you are collecting the 1/18 scale cars, you should be collecting the 1/18 scale motorcycles as well. They look really good together. I have so many different ideas to put these on the shelves along with action figures and stuff like that. Who knows what I'm going to do with them, but right now they are taking up quite a bit of shelf space for me, and I think they look really good on that shelf right there. But I'm going to be collecting a few more of these. And guys, if you guys want to see the Harley Davidson edition bikes that they have out at the Walmart shows, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I'll start picking those up as well. But guys, once again, the G.I. Joe bike, the LCVD, that one, if you're a G.I. Joe fan, which there are a lot of G.I. Joe fans out there, they do collect those. I am collecting a small amount. I used to be a big time collector of these of G.I. Joe, but they do take up so much space in the apartment, and it's so hard to display the ones you want because you want to display them all, but you can't have the room to display them all. So I kind of cut back on the G.I. Joe collecting. But I do have a couple of G.I. Joe figures that we're going to be checking out next week, along with another Batman figure. So guys, stay tuned for that. Once again, it comes to that point in the video where if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, become a member of this channel, hit that bell notification so you can be notified every time I put out a new video, and share these videos on all your social media platforms. And guys, smash that like button because it does help with the YouTube algorithm. And if there's anything in particular you would like to see on this channel, go ahead and hit me in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get that out there for you guys. Once again, I'm Sergeant Geek, and I'm signing off.